Right. So good evening and welcome to the session. And I would like to congratulate you on the completion of Module 1. So can you imagine 6 weeks are already in the past and we have reached Module 2. So congratulations on the completion of meeting the successful benchmark for Module 1 and welcome to Module 2. How are you feeling today? What's the weather like in your areas? Good evening. Great. Okay. So I'm really happy to see you online. And before we start, I wonder if you have any questions related to Module 1 so that we can move on. Any questions related to Moodle exercises or to whatever you have covered so far? No questions. Okay. Right. So let's move on. A picture for you, and I want you to guess the topic of today's session. We can see 2 pictures on the slide, and I wonder if you can guess the topic. Please write in the chat box. Okay, why do you think that, Mariam? And why do you think it's food, Noura? Narina, if you can't see, most probably there is a technical problem. So I would recommend logging out and then coming back. Okay, drinking, hard work, lifestyle. Okay, so Mariam, you think it's about shopping because the girl is doing shopping and she's in the market. Okay. How about this picture? So these 2 pictures are related because the people in the pictures are in the same place. Which place do you think this is? Where do you think they are? Noura, bingo, good job. Of course, both of them are in or at the airport. Yeah, they are at the airport. And this lady is in the duty-free shop, and most probably she's wasting time waiting for her flight, buying things, buying duty-free goods. And this man must be very tired because he's sleeping at the airport. Yeah, time zones might be different for him. So good job, Noura. Thumbs up for you. And my second question is, do you know how the things in this picture are called? For instance, what is this? So this is this is the usual seat or the usual setup of the seats that can be found on the plane. And how do you call the seat which is on the rear? How do you call that? This one. What kind of seat is that? Do we say it's the last seat? Do we say it's aisle seat? Good job, Lily. So pay attention to the pronunciation. Though we write it with an S, we do not pronounce it an aisle seat. Okay, good. How do you call this seat? Where is this? Where is it located to, next to? Window seat, good. So what's your favorite, Albert? Do you like an aisle seat or do you like a window seat? When you board a plane, where do you prefer to sit? In a window seat or in an aisle seat? Why? Why is it your favorite? Okay. Please also tell us why it is your favorite. Because you can see the sky. Yeah, there is only one. Yeah, you can see the sky. We can see the clouds, right? Yeah. And if you drink too much water, then the aisle seat is for you. I agree. Right. Okay. How about this one? What is this? Someone said a briefcase. That's not quite a briefcase. Try again, Lilith. Luggage, baggage, or suitcase. Yeah, so if you have several suitcases, all of them make your luggage or baggage. By the way, what's the difference between these two terms, luggage versus baggage? Can anyone tell me? Right, so luggage is the general term, but when you talk about it from the perspective of the airport worker, when you want to use the technical term, then you use luggage or baggage. Like, for instance, if you work at the airport, yes, you say baggage, okay, because that's the technical term which is used. And when you're the passenger, when you're the traveler, you use luggage, okay? Right. So this is, you can say this is luggage or this is suitcase. How about this one? What's this? Not quite a ticket. Lilith, bingo again. Yeah. So this is a boarding pass. But let's spell that correctly. A boarding pass. So can you tell me what it allows you to do? What can I do if I have a boarding pass? What do I do with that? Do I go and shop for duty-free goods, or do I do? So what do I do if I have that boarding pass? I can board the plane. So no boarding pass, no boarding pass, no plane for you. Hello, Naira, good to see you online. Yes, it shows that you are a registered traveler and you've got your seat on the plane. And finally, we have come to this picture, which stands for what? Any ideas? What is this? The last one. So you're at the airport, you have just reached your destination and you want to take your baggage or luggage. So where do you take it from? Where do you go? Hello, Vartini, good to see you. I could hear the sounds. So, hi, Guyana. No problem, Vartini. So this is a luggage carousel or roller. So you can choose between these two words. That's the place where you go to claim your luggage. Do you have any questions about these words and about the picture of slide? Any questions? Okay. Can you tell Gayane and Vartuhi, because they were late a little, can you tell them what we are talking about and what the topic of the session is? No, we don't say elevator. That's airport vocabulary, right? And that's mostly traveling, everything related to traveling. Right, so any other words that you know which are used when traveling? Any other words related to airports, related to traveling that you'd like and you'd like to share, that you know and you'd like to share with me? To land, okay, so this is usually said about the plane, so the plane lands. when it reaches its destination, and before it reaches its destination, it takes off. That's the antonym to land, to take off. Okay, so that's versus land. We talked about that, Diana. We talked about baggage. Yeah, carry-on bag, good. And can you tell us what it is? Carry-on bag. Registration, good. Turbulence, okay. A scary word. Ticket. Yeah, to take a plane, nice. Okay, so many words. Let's move on. So here we have, again, words which we can use when we talk about our journeys, when we talk about our trips and traveling in general. How about the first one? What do you think this is? Layover. What is that? Carry-on bag. Can anyone tell Gayane what carry-on bag is? She's asking in the chat box. This is the bag, as Albert says, which you take with you to the plane. Okay? So it's not a suitcase, it's not a very, very big bag. This is something you can take with you to the plane. Okay? Now, let's come to the vocabulary on the slide and tell me what layover is. Okay. So imagine you have to go to several places. You have to go to several places, and you have to connect flights. Connect flights. For example, Noura is going to Rome, but before she goes to Rome, she has to reach Moscow. So in Moscow, she has a short layover, which is basically the time she spends at the airport. That's the time of your stay at the airport. No, it's not Pirisatka, Vartuli. That's the time you spend. So some people are very lucky because they have a short layover, and this means that they do not have to wait for a very long period of time at the airport. Exactly. Some people are very unlucky because they have very long layovers. They can wait for 12 hours, even longer, to board their flight. Yeah, but that's not the verb, Noura, that's the noun. Okay, so that's a layover. So technically we can say a short layover or a long layover. Which is your favorite? There are some people who like a 2-hour layover. There are some people who like a 4-hour layover, short one. Is a very short layover good? What do you think? If it's very short, is it good? Okay, if you're in a hurry, yes, why not? What do the others think? Okay, depends. Ticket, I guess, is a word that everyone knows, and that's probably one of the most favorite words of travelers. So when we want to go somewhere, we book a ticket. We book a ticket, which basically means that we search online or we call our travel agent and try to find out which flight we would like to board. After, yes, exactly, Vartuli, good word. After we have arranged everything and we know that we are leaving for sure, we buy a ticket. We buy a ticket. Okay, but before we book, what else can we book? What do you think? So we can book a ticket. What else can we book? A room, very good. Where? A table, right? So we can book a hotel or a room in a hotel, a table in a restaurant. Anything else? We can book a book. Oh, that's nice, right? I'm not sure you can say that, but that sounds really nice. We can book a car. I'm not sure about taxi, but we can definitely book a car. If, for instance, we know that we're going to take this car, if we work for an office and we know that this car is going to take us somewhere, we can book a car, book an order, yeah, book a seat in theater. Nice. So coming back to tickets, we have a single ticket. That's when you buy one ticket to reach your destination. And we have a return ticket. That's when you buy two tickets to go there and to come back. Okay? So that's the word we have already talked about. Baggage roller. Let me show you the picture again. Here it is. That's a baggage roller. Someone asked me about the Armenian word. I'm not sure how you say that in Armenian. Probably it's just uğeberi, tarazk or something like that. And another word for a baggage roller is baggage carousel. Baggage carousel. Have you ever been in a situation when you were looking for your suitcase on a baggage roller and you didn't find it? Mm-hmm. So what did you do, Varki? Lucky Mariam? Oh, okay, so you asked probably the airport employee and they helped you. Mm-hmm. You addressed the manager, right? Okay, good. So yeah, that's a very unpleasant situation, but happens quite often. Aisle seat is the seat where, as Serpuhi mentioned, you want to be if you drink a lot of water, because probably in this way you will find a quicker way to the restroom. Gohar, sorry to hear that. Did you find it afterwards? So you lost it on the train, and did you find it afterwards? Oh my God, still lost. Okay, right. Yeah. Boarding pass is the pass that allows you to board the plane. And duty-free goods are goods like whiskey, chocolate, tobacco that you can buy tax-free at the airport. Can anyone tell me what duty is? Yeah, so duty has two meanings. Yeah, aisle seat, Ganejan, is this seat. The last one, yeah, the one on the rear. So if there are three seats, that's the one on the rear. It's getting a bit noisy here. Let me close the door. I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah, not near the window. Right. So this is an aisle seat. Is that clear now? Mark, I'm sorry. Is that clear now, Garnet? Yeah. Duty has two meanings, as I was saying. One of them is, for example, when a teacher tells a student, it's your duty to do this. Another word for it can be responsibility. So something that you have to do. Exactly. Good. And duty also means a tax that the government places on some goods. For example, in France, there is a duty on tobacco and perfume. Now, when we talk about duty-free goods, this means that these are tax-free goods. We do not have to pay the extra tax on them. Okay? Yeah, can you tell us, Naira, what it means to be on duty without any article? What is that, to be on duty? Yeah. And who can say that? What kind of people can say that? Doctors, okay. Who else? Nurses, right? Yeah, military workers, soldiers. So those people, yeah, police officers, security officers, right? So those people who have to work in shifts and who most probably can't sleep at night because they are on duty. Firefighters. Good job, Gohar. Yeah. And the final expression is claim your baggage. Remember, we talked about what is this? What is this? Can you remind me? Last picture on the slide. Yeah. Yeah, baggage carousel or baggage roller. So that's the place where you go to claim your baggage. Where you go to claim. Claim means that it's yours and you just have to take it in this context. So you go there to claim your baggage. Yeah, but in this context, you wouldn't say Pahanjan, right? That would be very, very strong and strict. Do you have any questions about the words and expressions on the slide? Sure. Who can explain to Lilith the difference between these two tickets? Single ticket and return ticket. Who can explain to Lilith? No, not in Armenian or Russian. In English, please. Okay, thank you, Ripsima. Good job. So single means one-way ticket. Lilijan, for instance, if you are just leaving for Paris, but you are not sure when you will be back, probably you will be back in 2 weeks, probably you will be back next year. In this case, you buy a single ticket. When you know for sure when you are going to be back, you buy return ticket. That means that you go there and then you come back. Single ticket sounds very exciting, but if I'm not mistaken, embassies do not like that. If you have to go somewhere, especially in Europe, they always require that you show return ticket. Correct me if I'm wrong. Luggage, probably not language. Is that what you mean, Narina? Luggage, right? Yeah. So who can tell Narina the difference between luggage and baggage? No problem. Who can tell the difference between these two words? Yeah, thank you, God. So baggage is the technical term, luggage is the general term. So for example, Narina, if you work at the airport, you talk about luggage as baggage, okay? Because that's the technical term that the workers use. But if you're a traveler, you say luggage. Thank you, Noura. Yes. Good. Any other questions? Do you have any other questions? Okay. Let's move on. So we are going to listen to Robert, who is traveling. And as you listen to him, I want you, as you listen to, not to him, not only to him, but to his dialogue, to his conversation with someone else, I want you to answer these questions. What is Robert's final destination? Can anyone remind me what destination is? Destination. Yes, for example, if I'm leaving for Rome, Rome is my destination. That's the place which I'm planning to reach, okay? And we can also use this word, we can also use destination when we talk about our personal plans. For example, you can say, my destination in life is something, right? So that means that's, again, your key point, your key goal in life. So it does not only relate to traveling, it can also relate to personal life. something you want to reach, something like a goal rather than an aspiration. Okay? How many suitcases does Robert want to check? So listen carefully to get the number. After checking his bags, what does he ask the ticket agent? And where does he want to sit on the plane? So here you have to listen for such words as window seat, aisle seat, or probably something else. Do you have any questions about the questions on the slide? If you don't, I will share the link with you so that you can go to the link and you can listen to the dialogue. The link. I'll give you 2 minutes to listen to it and to answer the questions, and I will mute my microphone. When you are ready, please do not write in the chat box, write in your copybooks, and we'll discuss the answers. Is that clear? Good job, thank you. Okay, so I can see you're successfully back, and do you think we can start discussing the series now? So, Narina Galoyan, can you please write in the chat box what Robert's final destination is? thank you. So France, and to be more specific, and thank you, Vakram, for being specific, Nice, France. Okay, so he's leaving for Nice, located in France. Good job. Zovinar Manukyan, yes, Anura, yeah, and he's also connecting. What is that? Connecting to go to Paris. So he's leaving initially for Nice, and then he has a connection to go to Paris. What is connection here? Any guesses? Yes, but when you talk about it from the perspective of travel, this is something else. Thank you, Nare. Good job. Yeah, transit flight. Good job. Right. So he doesn't. He's going to Nice, but he's not going to stay in Nice. He's going to connect his flight, and he's leaving for Paris. And his initial destination is Nice. I'm sorry. His final destination is Nice. He's going to Paris. How many suitcases does Robert want to check? How many suitcases does he want to check? 1. Okay, thank you. That was easy. And Sirpuhi Melkonyan, what does he ask the ticket agent after checking his bags? What does he ask? What does he want to know, Sirpuhi? He says, is the plane full or not? Yeah, but before that, who can help her? Yes, Rixima. He wants to know the limit for international baggage. What do you think he wants to know? What do you think this means? What is the international baggage allowance? So what do you think the question means? Does he want to know, for example, that, yeah, Albert, good job. So he wants to know how many kilos he can take with him. Yeah, how many kilos his suitcase should be. Can he take 100 kilos, for instance, or should he take less? Okay, that was just a rhetorical question. And the last one, Nona, where does he want to sit? Nona Hakopian, where does he want to sit? Does he want to sit in a window seat? Does he want to sit in an aisle seat? So, yeah, aisle seat. Thank you, Nona. Aisle seat, right. Good job. These are the answers, and you're spot on. His final destination is Nice in France, but he's making the connection in Paris. He's taking just one suitcase with him, and he wants to check the limit for the baggage. As Albert mentioned, he wants to know how many kilos he can take with him. And he should sit in an aisle seat. He wants to sit in an aisle seat. So your preference as well, I guess. Yeah, closer to the exit part of it, exactly. Now I have a question. So here are some sentences from their conversation, and there are some missing words here. Do you think you can fill them in, or do you think you need to listen to their conversation again? Now, if you think you can, yeah, so you want to listen again. So please listen again, fill in the gaps, and again, don't write anything in the chat box. Okay? Let me give you the link again for you not to search for it. I'll give you one to 2 minutes for this, because this is easy too. So before we come to this, Gayane had a question about homework. So all the slides, guys, that we do with you during the live session or during the webinar are always uploaded into the folder for the respective week. For example, after this session, you can find this session slides in week 1 of module 2, okay? And respectively, last time we had week 6. So if you're looking for those slides, you can go to week 6 of module 1 and you can find the slides over there. Okay, Diana, I hope you answered your question. So let's move on. Right. I'll screen the answers now and you tell me if you have any questions. These are the answers. Tell me how many you have got right. Hopefully all 7 of them. All of them, Ripsimed, good job, right? Bartu, is that the only one you got right or the only one you didn't get right? 5 of them, Karina, good job again. Serpuhi, well done. You couldn't hear the word boarding. Okay, I see. So there is only one mistake. You've got only one correct? Go ahead. Or you've made only one mistake. Boring. Yeah, okay. 3 mistakes. Which one? Which sentences? Vartitel, could you be specific? And Nona, please be specific. Your reservation is confirmed. Okay. Boarding means to get on the plane. Get on the plane, right? How would you say how would you say that in English? Can you write in the chat box, please? How would you say that? Thank you, Vartwi. Boarding is boring. Okay, so can you feel the difference in pronunciation? Yeah, boarding is boring. Okay. Someone got departure wrong. So departure is the antonym to arrival. When we come to one country, that's an arrival. When we leave, that's departure. Okay. And you have one carry-on bag. Carry-on bag is something you take with you to the plane, as we already discussed. And I'm sure you didn't have any problems with checking in. What does that mean, by the way, to check in the baggage? What does that mean? Check in. Not quiet. Right. That means, for instance, if I'm leaving for Paris and if I have 2 suitcases, but I do not want to take them with me to the plane, I check them in. That means that now, just on the contrary, Noura, I ask the plane to take them instead of me. Hansnen, yeah, check-in baggage or check-in luggage. Do you have any questions about these sentences? No, layover is the time you spend when you are waiting for your next flight, Narek. For example, if you have to go to Moscow, then from Moscow you have to go to Paris, and you have to wait for some hours in Moscow before you board your flight to Paris. That's a layover. And carry-on bag is a bag like this, yeah? Let me show you. So that's the bag that you do not check in. For example, this is my carry-on bag whenever I travel. I don't check it in because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I just take it with me to the plane. Can be larger, can be smaller. Mine is large, for instance. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Now my question is, what you think these sentences have in common? So we have 3 sentences on the slide, and all of them start with could. Could you tell me if the line is busy? Could you please place your suitcase on the scales? And could you tell me if the flight is very busy? So all of them are polite. Thank you. Right. All of them are questions. And all of them start with could. Now, if, for example, we had the same questions without could, for example, if I had the same sentence, tell me if the flight is very busy, what would be the difference? What would be the difference? That would be very informal. That would be imperative. Nice. Yeah, and that wouldn't be very polite. That's the most important thing, Maria. Right. Now, when you come to think of that, when we speak to people who we do not know very well, and this is usually the case at the airport, we have to be polite. We have to be very, very formal. And in these cases, we use could. We say, could you? Then we use the verb without to. So the verb without to, for example, to go, we have go, is called bare infinitive. Bare infinitive. Does anyone know what bare means? This word, bare. For example, my arms are bare. Very good. Thank you, Hasni. Bare. That means, yeah. Yes, but some parts of it, okay? So that means that you do not have any clothes on one part of your body, bare, okay? Now, bare infinitive means that the verb is without to. So, could you tell me? We don't say could you to, could you tell me? Could you tell me where Arusyak is? What happens to my voice? Does it go up? Does it go down? What happens to it? Okay, let's try again. Let's try to read from the back. Is, Arusyak is, where Arusyak is, tell me where Arusyak is. Could you tell me where Arusyak is? What happens to my voice? Does it go up? Very good, it does, yeah. So when you want to check the intonation of any sentence, you can start reading with the last words, and the intonation will appear spontaneously and automatically, okay? You can try that. Unfortunately, I can't hear how you're doing that, but just for fun, you can try to do that. Now, if you remember the song by Whitney Houston and Iglesias, they used to sing together. In the song, Iglesias was saying, could I have this kiss forever? So he was trying to be very polite because he didn't want to hear a rejection. What is rejection? Rejection. Very good. Yeah, very actual word now. It's okay. Yeah. So because Iglesias was afraid that he would be rejected by Whitney Houston, yeah, in the song, right? He was using the formal, polite way of requesting, could I have this kiss forever? Instead of saying, kiss me forever, or give me a kiss, or something like that, he was trying to be very, very polite. This is another case when you can use could. Now, when you're afraid of rejection, because you know that what you're asking for is too much, you can use could. Yes, Varam, or you can use may. Yeah, so may is very, very official, I would say, and may means that you're asking for permission. Permission? When you ask for a permission, what is that? Yes. Yeah, may I go out, or may I take your car, or something like that. And again, in a very official setting, you can use may. But when you're afraid of rejection, when you know that what you're asking might not be well accepted, you can use could. Okay, so in two cases, when we're asking for something sensitive, what is sensitive? Sensitive information. Yeah, we can say sensitive person is down mark, but sensitive information, Mariam, good job. That's very, very personal information. Yeah, I keep making typos today. I don't know, I might not be used to the keyboard. So sensitive information is personal, very, very personal information. Like for instance, probably not in Armenia, but in the US, if you ask someone, how much do you earn? That's considered to be a piece of sensitive information. So to make it more polite, probably you could say, can you tell me, or could you tell me how much you earn? If you're a journalist and you want to know how much that person earns, you could use could to make your question out more polite. Do you have any questions about this? Okay. Now I have a question. Which of these is correct? Could you tell me where Arus is, or could you tell me where is Arus? And why? Christine, why do you think the first one is correct? Wow, all of you think that the first one is correct. Why? Noura thinks that's the second one. Okay. Why Noura and why Christine? Why do you think the first one is correct? Why do you think the second one? Both are correct, okay? So, yeah, this is a question. This is a question. And in Armenian, probably we don't have that. But in English, people try to be very, very economical. Do you know the word economical? Not economic, but economical. What is that? Very good, Mariam. Thank you so much. Right? In English, we try to be economical. So if we already have one question in one sentence, we don't think that we can have the second question. Okay? So for example, in the second sentence, we have two questions. Could you tell me? That's the first question. And where is Arus? That's the second question. But because the English and the Americans try to be economical, they use, could you tell me where Arus is? Because they think one question is enough. And the question they have is, could you tell me? Okay, could you tell me? All right, so the correct answer is number what? Number one. Thank you, Ripsima. The correct answer is number one. How would you say Ripsima, can you write in the chat box? In English, not in Armenian. You have two questions, Ripsima. Could you tell me, and how old is she? Right, so Varta, he corrects you immediately. Could you tell me how old? Oh my God, so many. I can't read all of them. Could you tell me how old she is? Okay, could you tell me how old she is? Thank you. Tamara, can you write կարող եք ինձ ասել որն է ձեր սիրելի գույնը? Tamara Harutyunyan, can you write that? Okay, Bartley, who is part-time Tamara, has written, could you tell me what your favorite color is? Very good. So we have one question. Yes, okay. Thank you, Tamara, for coming back to us. Yeah, no problem. So what your favorite color is? So one question. Good job. Okay. Also, pay attention to the pronunciation. So we talked about the intonation when the voice goes up or down. Right? Okay. And also pay attention that when you have could, and when you have you, these two are combined together, and we have something which is between yeah and j. Could you? Could you? Can you say that? I can't hear, but I'm sure you're saying, could you tell me? Could you do this? So you don't say, could you? Could you? Okay, so you try to combine these two together. Any questions? Okay, we have 6 sentences on the slide, and I want you to make them more polite. I want you to make them more polite. Please write them in your copybooks. Sorry, write them in your copybooks, and then come back to me. I have two minutes for this. Okay, I can see that we can start. I was going to write to Nadine, could you write in your copybook, please? But then I realized she had already realized she was going to do that. Right. Okay, so Gayane Arakelian, what's your answer for number 1? Give me your pen. No problem. Gayane Arakelian, give me your pen. Sounds very, very impolite, especially if you are talking to someone who you do not know so well. So how would you make it more polite? Yes. Okay, could you give me your pen? Good, thank you. Let's try to spell could correctly and you as well. Could you give me your pen? Nice. Open the window. Gohar Moksisyan, how would you make it more polite? Or please give me your pen, that's another option. Open the window is for Gohar. Could you open the window? Can I ask you to open? Can I ask you? Then we have to go ahead. Can I ask you to open the window, please? And the same is for Arpina. If we have can I ask you, after ask you, we have to. If we have like this, could you open? Then we do not have to. Okay, could you open the window, please? Make me coffee. Make coffee is for Albert Simonian. Make me coffee. Can you make me coffee, please? I love that. Bahram, do you think we should say, would you mind to make, or would you mind making me coffee? Thank you, Albert. Good job. So coming to Bahram, would you mind to make or making? What do you think? Yes, after mind we use gerund last name. Nelly Marcosian, how about number 4? Be careful, we have a question here. Thank you, Nelly. Could you tell me where Coop's Smart Center is? Do we need this where is? Could you tell me where Coop's Smart Center is? We need just one is, Nelly, okay? So we don't say where is, where. Good job, right, okay. And the next one is for Karine Martirosyan. Where is Gohari? Again, try to make it more polite. Very good. Another Karine responded, no problem. Could you tell me where Gohari is? Yeah, could you tell me where Gohari is? Nice. And the final one, are you married? And that's for Noura. Noura, can you please come back to us and make it more polite? Imagine you are a journalist and you're requesting sensitive information. Could you tell me what is missing in your sentence? What do you think? Could you tell me if you are married? Thank you. Could you tell me if you are married? Mm-hmm. Yes. I was wondering if you are married. Mm-hmm. You can't say I was wondering knowing. Go ahead. You can say I wanted to know if you're married, or I was wondering if you're married. Mm-hmm. Could you, Lilith, tell me if you are married? Okay. Do you have any questions? Can I borrow my pen? Do you want to borrow my pen? Okay, I can't lend it to you. That's virtual. Good. Let's move on. Now, I want you to think about your peers, because we have been together for a great period of time. I want you to ask each other 2 questions. And I want you to ask indirect questions, like, could you tell me? Try to be as polite as possible. Okay? So, for example, Zovinar Manugyan, can you ask Nelly Marcosian a question? And Nelly, can you please answer that question in the chat box? Zovinar, ask Nelly one question, one polite question. Is it a correct question, Zovinar? You have 2 questions in your question, but you should have only 1 question in your question. Yes. Could you tell me where? The airport or airport? What do you think? The airport, very good, because there is only 1 airport. We're not talking about airports in general. Good. Could you tell me, yes, where the airport is? Nelly? Yerevan. Okay. Yeah, you have to travel there. Okay. That's, yeah, very succinct and brief. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's see who we have here. Agassi Manukyan, can you please ask, Narek Arzumanyan one question? Agassi Manukyan, please ask Narek a question, a polite question, using could you, would you, do you mind, etc. Make them polite, Narine. Agassi Manukyan is asking Narek Arzumanyan in the chat box. Agassi Manukyan is in the kitchen making coffee. Narek Jan, are you online? Can you ask Vahram a question? Good. Yeah. Very good, Narek. Good job. Could you tell me what time? What is missing? Just one thing is missing here. What the time is, or could you tell me what time? Thank you, Noura. It is. What time it is? Can you tell me the time, or can you tell me what time it is? Yeah. Okay. And Vahram, your answer? No problem. Vahram, what's your answer? Okay. Okay, could you tell me what? So Vahram has a rhetorical question for you, right? So he's questioning the value of your question, and he has another question for you. Could you tell me what the color of life is? I loved your question, Vahram, because it is very, very accurate and very philosophical. Good job. Do you have any questions about this, or shall we move on? Okay. Now, more listening exercises, I want you to listen to short dialogues, and I want you to decide where the people in the dialogues are. Are they in a taxi, at an airport, at a railway station, at a hotel, or on the plane? Let me share the link with you. So all the podcasts are under this link, and you just listen to them one by one. I loved your question. Could I have your wallet, double L? Okay. What do you mean anyway it's empty, or if it is empty? What do you mean? Certainly. Okay. So here is the link for the listening. Please don't write the answers in the chat box. When you finish, come back and tell me if you're ready. Okay? Have you listened to all the tracks? Great. Yeah, I know. Okay. Let's start then. I'll screen the answers and you tell me if you have any questions, okay, to save us time. So here are the answers. Okay, good job. Any other comments? Why did you listen to only 5 of them? Great job, Archie. Noura, well done. No mistakes, guys? 3 mistakes. Naira, could you be more specific? Where? In number 7, at a railway station. You thought it was a taxi? Okay. Number 2, I think that was the pilot speaking, so that was, yeah, obvious. Number 6, again, you probably you think, what did you think, Naira, for number 2 and for number 6? That you had problems, that they were, where do you think they were? You thought they were at, you didn't catch, okay, yeah. The number 3, you thought that was a railway station when it was an airport, yeah. They were making an announcement and they mentioned the words, if I'm not mistaken, gate or something, so that's why, okay. So that's why they thought that's why it should be a plane, not a railway station. Okay. So you have the links now, and all these recordings are posted in the Moodle. So after the session, or probably tomorrow or during the week, you can go back to them and you can listen to them again to make sure that you understand whatever they are saying. Yeah, so practice makes it perfect. Do not feel discouraged. Even if you don't understand half of it, it's not a problem. You can listen to it several times, and finally you will be able to understand what they are saying. Okay? Yeah. Any questions about this? What do you mean by saying, should we use our books? Naira, what do you mean? Okay, so I guess Goharik will tell you today. I guess she's got some news about the book, so she will share this news with you upon the completion of the lesson. Okay? Oh, okay, so you borrow them from the library. Wow, good job. Okay, let's move on. Now, after you have listened to these conversations, do you think you can fill in the gaps in these sentences? All these sentences are taken from the conversation. So the first is fasten. You want to listen again? I think we can do this quickly, but if you want to listen again, you're welcome to do that after the session. Yeah, so you fasten your seat belts. You fasten your seat belts. Do you have any duty-free goods? Okay, and a single ticket to the city center. Can I have an alarm? Alarm what? Call at 6 a.m. tomorrow, please. Okay, so basically all these sentences were used in the conversations, and probably the most difficult word here is fasten. Why? Because we have a letter here which we do not pronounce. We don't say fasten, we say fasten. Okay, can you say it for me? Fasten. You fasten your seat belts. Any questions? Okay, let's move on. Now, when we talk about traveling, we sometimes talk about things we like or we dislike doing on the plane or on the train or while traveling. So for talking about likes, we use these words. We use like, love, don't mind. What is don't mind? Don't mind. Demchen, right. Yeah, not tomorrow, yeah, but don't mind. In Armenian, we have this very, very Armenian expression, which is bochinch, yeah? So, which means that you are neither crazy about it nor hate it, yeah? So this is don't mind, okay? Hate, which means you don't like it at all, right? And dislike, again, close to hate, but hate is very, very strong, okay? Dislike is also strong, but not that much strong as hate is. Now, what is important that after all these verbs, you use gerund. That is to say, you put the verb and then you add an ing form. For example, I love traveling. Arus doesn't mind sleeping on the plane. Doesn't mind sleeping on the plane. So she's fine with that. Zara likes trying new food. Okay, so all of these verbs are followed by gerund. Do you have any questions? Also pay attention that we do not have to here. For example, you don't say, I love to traveling. You say, I love traveling. I love sleeping. I love eating. Now, when you travel, which of the following do you like or don't like? Okay. Right. Thank you, Gane, for sharing that joke with us. Now, I want someone to come online because I have been the only person to speak throughout the session. And I can see that Naira Nahapetian has her microphone on. And Naira, do you mind coming online and sharing your thoughts with us?
Hello, with great pleasure.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you speak loudly, please?
I will try.
Okay, very good. Now, Naira, can you tell us, when you travel, which of these do you like doing and which of these you don't like doing?
I like doing all these points because traveling is anything amazing for me. 2 times in my life, I have that opportunity to travel in Italy and in Poland, so I liked all those points, really.
Okay. Do you like waiting for luggage and going through security checks as well?
Really, yes.
Wow. Okay. How about packing a suitcase?
With great pleasure.
Is there anything that you love doing a lot out of these things on the list?
I love spend time with my family, with my children.
I love what? I'm sorry, I couldn't catch you.
I love spending time with my family, with my children.
Okay, great.
I love having new achievements in my life concerning my job, concerning teaching.
Okay, and what is your job? Where do you work?
I am a chemistry teacher in Eintop Secondary School number 2.
Okay.
I'm from Aratian Baccalaureate, so I'm so happy being with you. Thank you for this opportunity.
The pleasure is ours, Naira Jan. That was great to hear your voice online. Do you have any questions for Naira? Do you have any questions you'd like her to answer? Yeah, Marty, what's your question?
How many children do you have?
Marty, can you make a correct question, please? Just one question. Could you tell me how... Naira, can you correct Vartuhi's question?
Could you tell me how many children you have?
Very good. Good job. How many children you have? So you've got 3 children?
Yes, my daughter is 15.
So how do you manage to combine your work with your family? That must be really hard.
For example, my husband just come home and I don't prepare dinner.
And he must hate all of us because every session and he's hungry.
I don't know. I will say him. I had an English lesson.
Okay. Hopefully he will lose some weight. Okay. Thank you very much, Naira Jan, for being with us today. And I will unmute you if you don't have anything else to add so that we can listen to the others.
Thank you very much.
39. You sound so young, Naira. I'm sure you're not 39. You're 29. You must have got something wrong in your passport. Very good. Could you tell me how old you are? Good job, Maria. Okay, let's move on. And now I want another person to come online and to tell us 3 things he or she loves doing, 2 things he or she doesn't mind doing, and 1 thing they hate doing. They don't like doing it. Okay? Let's see who we have here. Narine Piloyan, are you with us today? Narine? Oh, good. Let me unmute you. Good evening. Narine?
Yeah.
Must be wrong with the connection because I can't hear your voice well.
Because of my internet.
Right. Can the others hear Narine well, or is it my connection? Okay.
They hear me?
Is there a possibility for you to move somewhere else, or the connection is bad everywhere? Where are you from? Okay. So we lost Narine. Let's see who's next on our list. Ladies and gentlemen, next time try to have your microphones on so that everyone can speak. Yeah, for example, I'd love to hear Narine, Minata, Kanyan, and Nelly, and Nona, and Noura, and Suzy. Sirpui, do you want to come online? Your microphone is on too.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm fine. And how are you?
We're fine too. Would you like to tell us what 3 things you love doing, what 2 things you don't mind doing, and what is the 1 thing that you hate doing?
First, I love driving, riding a bicycle, and sleeping.
And?
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Well, I love sleeping too. Do you have your own car? Do you drive your own car?
Yes.
Wow. Are you a good driver?
I'm a safe driver. And when I'm driving, nobody can guess who is inside, man or woman.
Wow, that's impressive. How about two things you don't mind doing? What are they?
I don't mind working, doing gardening.
Doing gardening, or I don't mind gardening. Okay, without any doing. I don't mind gardening. Do you have your own garden?
Yes. Our family's garden.
Okay. And what is one thing you hate doing?
I think that is communicating to not smart children.
Can you say that again? I couldn't catch that.
I hate communicating to not smart children.
Communicating with people who are smart. Is that what you mean?
Not teaching, just talking.
Okay, communicating with people who are
any kind of communication.
Any kind of communication. Okay, I see. Right. Yeah. Okay. Any questions for Serpuhi? Serpuhi, you're a doctor, right? If I'm not mistaken. Where do you work?
In Horon.
Sorry, where?
That is village near Gyumri.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Yes, please. Bartuhi has a question for you. Bartuhi, please ask your question correctly. Could you tell me how old? Serpuhi, can you correct Bartuhi's question?
How old I am. Could you tell me how old you are?
Good. How old you are? How old are you?
I'm approximately 29.
Okay. You sound 19.
Thanks.
Any other questions, Serpuhi? Okay. No questions. Thank you very much, Serpuhi, for being with us today.
Thank you too.
And we hope to hear you next time as well. Bartuhi is saying that she's got relatives in Horon, and Rixima is saying that everyone sounds so young today. Okay. You can also write one thing that you love doing and one thing you hate doing in the chat box, because I'm curious to see what the things are that you love doing. So you're welcome to share them with us. So things that you love doing and you hate doing. Gohar, I love your answer. So you love swimming, but you hate arguing. Gayane, that's my case as well. I love going to bed, but I hate getting up early in the morning. Good job, Lilith. You love drinking coffee in the morning. Me as well. I love drinking coffee at all times of the day. Reading books, me too. Without work, Vartuni, good job. Yes, Naira, I agree with you. Yeah, we just use that word, Naira Jan, because we have just learned it. That's the only reason. I love meeting new people too. Right, Narine. Great. Yeah, great to see that you love spending time with your mom. Okay, let's move on. And because we do not have time for a discussion today, I want you to go through these discussion questions during your webinar on Saturday. So on Saturday, you will be having your separate classes with your teachers. And before you start the webinar, I want you to go through these questions, think about these questions, and share your answers online. This means that you should have your microphones on, not only during the live session, but also during the webinar. because we are curious to hear what you think. We want to know your opinion. Okay, we want you to speak, to practice your speaking skills. Let's see how much we remember. Yeah. Let's see whether we can remember the words and the grammar we have learned today. So very quickly, what document gives the passenger a permission to board the plane? Who can write it? Albert, good job. You're the first. Boarding pass. What is the antonym to arrival? The antonym to arrival. Do you remember that? Albert, you're my hero today. Again, you. Departure. Vartuli, good job. Departure. Narek, good job. Nura, good job. The third question, how do we make our questions more polite? How do we make them more polite? With could. Okay, could you? Do we use only could, or can we use some other expressions? May, okay. Would, okay. I'm not sure what mo is. Nura, can you be more specific? Would you mind doing something, Maria? Might, okay. And what do we use after like, love, and don't mind? Gerund. So I love doing something. Okay, ing form, right? And two more questions. How would you say in English, Hertha Pahlinen? Thank you, Vartuli. Good job to be on duty. And how do you call luggage in technical jargon? In technical jargon, it is baggage. Right. Good job. Thank you very much. I tremendously enjoyed the session today. I wonder if you have any questions related to the whole session. Do you have any questions?